What's up, Deadites? Time to hit you out with part 4 of What If Deku Was a Guardian. Last time we left, Phoenix was preparing for a mission in the Ginza area. Kamina, get ready to break in your new toy. It's time for some prep work. The excitement was clear on Kamina's face.
Good for you, Todd-chan. You got to keep your family together.
That wasn't bitter at all. He was genuinely happy that the family was together. Kamina put up the map and it was time for work. Let me be clear. This is a normal mission, however, we're gonna plan it like it's a strike. Katsuki and Mina, we're going in alone on this. What few guardians we have must remain to defend the compound. Kamina, talk to me. Kamina does a salute. Yes, General Deku. He was trying his hardest to keep a straight face. People have been disappearing around the area, Guardian and non-Guardian alike. There's no transit network in the area, so you're on your own. No sparrows for you. Deku nodded and took a good look at the map. That's fine. We'll drop a few clicks away and hoof it for the rest to avoid alerting any possible hostiles. Segura and Ghost nodded at Deku's statement. Segura added, "You may want to wear full rig, just in case. No idea what the atmosphere is like down there." Segura had a point. While they were Guardians, staying in a toxic environment without a helmet could be bad. They were all human and still needed to breathe. Remember that catapult I mentioned in the last part? It's not quite done yet, so they just used the line to get out of the station. Once they're topside, they transmat into their jump ships, like the plan called for. They dropped a few clicks out and hoofed it for the rest of the way. Now, fade to a scene from the tallest building in the area. Cloaked individual could be seen by you guys only. Said individual was female and seemed to be paying attention to Phoenix, or more accurately, Deku. Good. He found the disturbance. The mysterious woman teleported away after her piece was said. Phoenix arrived at their destination about 30 minutes after touchdown. Alright guys, scan for any signs of human life. Deku said, and all three ghosts gave scans. The scans gave out signs beneath them, and Phoenix was on their way. Guys? I'm picking up some weird frequencies near you. I've never seen anything like it before. Kamina shouted over comms. Think you could be a threat, son? Katsuki asked, and Kamina answered that he had no idea. Deku was walking about when the ground gave in from underneath him. Deku, are you okay down there? Mina asked with genuine concern. I'm fine, Mina. I just can't get back up. It works well anyway. We were getting two separate signals from two separate directions anyway. I'll chase this one. You guys check the other one. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Katsuki and Mina begrudgingly agreed to check the other location, but tell Deku to keep that promise. Segura, I need... Before he could finish that sentence, Segura let out a dim light. Bright enough that he could see, but not so bright that it could be seen from a distance, and so that wouldn't alert anyone to his presence right now. Security was a must. The further Deku traveled, the more carnage was visible. Odd white scorch marks and scraps of metal could be found on the ground. Now, I'm gonna step in for a second and say that Deku has never seen or heard of the Vex before, and doesn't know that the telltale signs of battle with them ensues. Sagira, however, does. She lost a guardian to the Vex. Sagira went pale, and by that I mean her light dimmed a bit. I mean, not just the light she made, but the light that's within, well, all ghosts. Deku, be careful. Deku asks his ghost what's wrong, and she tells him about the Vex and how she was separated from her former guardian, Osiris. It was a losing fight, and rather than see Sagira fall with him, he flung her through the small breach throughout time and space. Sagira could no longer feel Osiris. His light was lost to her, and she would have to find another guardian. Sagira found her way to the tower, but no one stood out to her as a potential partner. Then she remembered a valiant hero that fought to his last breath. Said hero was obviously Deku. There was no way the traveler wouldn't have touched such a brave soul, and she saw him fall over the cameras. All she had needed to do was to remind herself of where that specific area would be now. After all, we don't exactly know how far into the future Destiny is. Now, my name is not Bife, and I'm not a gigantic lore hound. All I know is that it's somewhere between like 700 and 1,000 years in the future. So, I'm going to be vague on that since topography can change over time. But that is how she ended up looking for Deku. Sagira, I am not Osiris. If we fall, we do so together, as guardian and ghost. I will not allow you to be lonely ever again, partner. Deku said while gently holding on to his ghost. She appreciated his sentimentality. Deku was a tad softer than Osiris, that was for sure, but he was every bit the leader he was, if not more. Once they had their moment, they continued on their little spelunking trip. They had been walking around for about an hour and nothing was in sight. However, a giant thud and boom could be heard from the distance, and Sagira killed the light. Before Deku's eyes lay a battle of Fallen versus Vex. Hush, Dako. This was not going to be fun. Deku was considering allowing them to off each other, but I can't be too nice to him now, can I?
To present Guardian and Ghost, this is Titan Sloan requesting assistance. I'm pinned and could really use the help. These Vex came from out of nowhere.
Well, Deku can't just leave a Guardian alone in this situation. He has no choice.
Hang tight. This is Warlock Deku and Ghost Sagira. If you can give me some support, it would be appreciated. If not, hang tight.
Deku let out a scatter nova and went in for the kill against the Vex before him. It was a hulking mass of metal that we know to be a Minotaur. Good thing he hit it with a void attack. Deku played no games and hit him hard and fast with his super good advice, and ended it with a push. That got him some energy back. Energy drain kinda made him a vampire of sorts. His wife would have loved that. He threw an Axion bolt at a group of goblins, and of course they teleported. Too bad for them that Axion bolts seek out targets. Deku swapped to his Hawk Moon and shot at hobgoblins trying to snipe at him. All while Sloan refused to let Deku have all the fun. Take this, you ugly sons of... Sloan let out a mighty havoc fist at a captain, the shockwave dealing damage to a group of fallen. Sloan noticed just in time to get out of the way.
How the hell did they get a walker in here? Deku, I need you up here ASAP.
Like Deku needed much motivation to get to her anyway. The way he saw it, she was a fellow guardian that needed his assistance, and she would have it. On the inverse, the married couple are in a dark and dank area that was surrounded by some sort of chitinous material. They knew all too well what that meant.
Deku, we've got Hive.
Mina let out over the comms.
Want to trade? I'm facing Fallen and Vex. And no, I'm not alone. I'm fighting alongside Titan Field Commander Sloan. Nah, we're good. Enjoy your chaos.
Kotsky let out. Truth be told, I can't say I blame him. I'd rather deal with the Hive than have to fight both the Vex and the Fallen at the same time any day. I'm not gonna lie. Scene was utter creepsville. Their ghosts killed the lights. They didn't really need them. The Hive seemed to be using some sort of ambient bioluminescent lighting of sorts. The Bakugo couple opted for stealth, and unlike Deku, actually had the choice. They managed to get through most of the lair when they noticed chatter. Unfortunately, it was in Hive. Can you record what they're saying? It seems important, and Deku knows Hive. He can translate it for us later. Knowing the info freak deck that Deku is, there's no way he wouldn't want to study alien languages. Hell, he probably spoke Klingon as a kid. All jokes aside, back to the story. Once they were sure that the knights were done speaking, they began their assault on the Hive lair, with Kotsky firing off a round of his quirk-enhanced Gallarhorn at the two knights. Needless to say, there were two less knights, and the Hive was now aware of their presence. Mina is taking pot shots with her Jade Rabbit, while Kotsky is front-manning with a combination of his quirk, Havoc Fist, and his Suros regime. Every so often, he'd pull out his universal remote. Yes, I know it's a shotgun, but this is made to be more realistic, and you can carry what you carry. Whatever you can carry in real life, you can use, so why not? Yeah! Get some! Kotsky howled. I'm sorry, but he's definitely the one in the group that would howl that. Keep fighting like that, and you most certainly will. Mina purred behind her husband, while holding on to her plan C. Like I said in the last one, mind the continuity of these guns. They're still D1, and that's all that's really important. Kamina didn't have time to make Mina a quirk weapon, so she just had to make do with what she had. They were doing great, until the ogre came out. Ah, crap, the couple said together. Kotsky popped a bubble, and Mina let out her one golden shot infused with her quirk at the ogre. That didn't quite kill it, but it did a lot of damage. 3 guesses what helmet she's wearing right now. Kotsky finished with a howitzer impact. Of course, his gauntlets are still a thing. Come on, man. And they've obviously been added into his Titan armor. Mina was safe in the bubble, and everything else was, well, toast. Cries for help could be heard in the distance, and they checked it out. Every missing person was accounted for, and some of them would be making their way to the compound. Now, let's get back to Deku and Sloan, yeah? They had dealt with the Walker and noticed a rather large force of Fallen and Vex fighting one another. Want to watch the fight and take out the winners? Deku playfully asked Sloan, who just smiled at him. The Vex won, and the remaining forces were 5 Harpies, 10 Goblins, 3 Hobgoblins, and a Minotaur. Dibs on the Minotaur. Sloan threw a suppressor grenade and went to work on the thing with her sweet business. I just can't see her using anything else. It fits her so well. Yes, I know that's technically a D2 gun, but Sloane's technically a D2 character, so that fits out. Deku took shots at the goblins, aiming true and killing them all in one shot. When he could feel the power return to him, he used Havoc Fist and went to town on the Harpies, and even got the one hobgoblin. Sloane took down the others after she dispensed the Minotaur. Well, hot damn! The rumors are true. The Travelers touched you in an odd way, and you can fight like nobody's business. By the way, these fights were happening at the same time, and finished at the same time. Imagine a split screen effect for this.
Hey Deku, you still kicking, or you need revived?
Kotsky let out.
We're fine. We kicked ass and took names. How was your hive running?
Kotsky gave him the not overcome speech, and they all caravaned back to the compound. This one mission gained them people and intel, so I'd say it went well. The look on Deku's face when he translates the message is going to be priceless.